Naomi and Charlotte tear the damn house down for the Smackdown Women's Championship. Let's get into it. What is up? My name is Lloyd and this is the Middle Card, which are my takes on the world of professional wrestling and all of its ins and outs. So let's go. So I really liked this match. This match was fire. I gotta be honest. And there were so many details that went into this match that just made it what it was. The first thing was Naomi's the only other person that really has something going on right now. She's in a power struggle with management, specifically Sonya Deville. So when you put Naomi in a SmackDown Women's Championship match, all of a sudden you kind of suspend belief because you know they want Charlotte versus Ronda. However, because Naomi has so much going on, do you intertwine into this story? And if Naomi's able to win the championship, well, how does that affect WrestleMania? And does she win the championship and then that sticks it to basically Sonya Deville? Because their story is now intertwining with this other story. And I like stuff like that. I like this crossover into stories, and so that we don't really know what's going to happen because they can switch directions at any point in time. Now, do I necessarily believe that they're going to do that? No. But because they went and did this, everything is just fresher now. That's what I feel. Whereas this whole Naomi and Sonya thing was coming to an end, now it gave it some more new life, and where nobody really cared about Charlotte versus Ronda, I think it breathed a new energy into that. But the match itself, fire. And like I said, there's so many details that went into this match. There's some specific things though that I really liked. So let's set it up. Okay, so towards the beginning of the match, towards the midway of the match, basically, here's what happens. So Naomi tries to go for her, basically goes for her mid-rope kick onto Charlotte Flair. Charlotte sees it coming and she knows Naomi that well, so when Naomi goes and jumps onto the ropes, she grabs her by the hair and she pulls her down. So she's able to predict what it is that Naomi is going to do. The other one that I really liked was Charlotte Flair goes and does a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker on Naomi. That becomes important because the second time around, Charlotte feels like, okay, I already know what she's going to do. So when Charlotte goes for the tilt-a-whirl backbreaker, Naomi turns that into a crossbody. When Naomi goes for that jumping spin kick, jumps from the second rope and then hits the kick, she actually hits it this time. However, Naomi towards this sequence, she follows this up with, I think they call it the rear end or something along. It's a driving reference. I have to go back and watch it again. But it's a driving reference. We're gonna call it the rear end right now. She hits that, and that's the surprise move that Charlotte doesn't see coming. So when she goes for the pin, that's where they hooked everybody because they're like, oh my god, she got it. So everybody was into it. You could see the crowd like going wild basically at this moment in time. That plays a role because when we get towards the end of the match, after Naomi's gone and hit her split-legged moonsault and everything like that, she goes for that maneuver again, But this time it reverses because Charlotte's actually seen it. Charlotte's now seen that move, the rear accident, rear end, rear, whatever you want to call it. But she saw it this time, and she's not going to get caught off guard again. And that leads to Charlotte going to hit the natural selection. 1, 2, 3 for the win. So I love the way that they laid that out. That's very, very good storytelling, basically. And it did lead to Sonya getting into Naomi's face. And of course, Naomi was going to try and beat down Sonya Deville. Charlotte comes back for no reason at all, because she really doesn't have any beef with Naomi whatsoever. But of course, this is to get Ronda to come out, and we're probably headed towards a tag team match between the four of them. So all in all, I really, really liked what they did here. Now, this gets me thinking that maybe WWE should get rid of those women's tag team titles, because they're not really doing anything with them. They don't even like women's tag teams, to be honest. So maybe what you do is you get rid of those and you put more stock into a mid-card women's championship, like AEW basically has, because then it's giving these women something to shoot for. And there's kind of no reason why Naomi shouldn't have a title or a secondary title to shoot for, because it's pretty clear that you have people in certain tiers. And right now you have Becky, Charlotte, Ronda, Sasha, Bayley, when she comes back, in a certain tier, which leaves the rest of the women nothing to do, to be honest. So why not have a mid-card title that they're all aiming for, and you keep those other people elevated and away from that, and it becomes more interesting. Maybe you can develop some more storylines, things of that nature, rather than what we're doing with the women as it is, because I don't really want to see Aaliyah versus Natalya anymore. Not that they're bad or anything like that. It's just run stale. There's no reason behind it. Maybe it'll inject some new energy into the women's division. Maybe it's something that can be defended on both brands, and it's your own sort of TV title. Whatever stipulations you want to lay behind the belt. But that's what I'm thinking. Something like this, something that a person like Naomi, my God, Shayna Baszler, what are we doing with her? People like that, we can actually like put some new energy and new life into them. That's all I'm saying. But all in all, this was a great match. What we do with Naomi now that she's had this great match and she's proven that she's at the top tier, I'm not saying we're going to be let down by it, but if history teaches us anything, right? Let's go.